The rifle's crack echoed through the dense Maine forest, shattering the crisp autumn air as I squeezed the trigger. But the buck bolted unharmed into the underbrush. My hands trembled, not from the cold, but from the weight of unspoken words that had been building for years. Beside me, my adopted son Alex, now 22, lowered his own gun with a sigh, his eyes meeting mine in a way that made my heart stutter, revealing a vulnerability I'd long ignored. I never imagined our annual hunting trip would become the crucible for truths I'd buried deep. Growing up in rural Pennsylvania, I was the epitome of the all-American dad. Former Marine, high school football coach, married young to Sarah, who gave me everything except the fulfillment I craved. We adopted Alex at 15 after his parents disowned him for coming out as gay. Ironic, considering the secrets I harbored myself. Sarah passed from cancer 5 years ago, leaving me to raise him alone, and in that time, our bond evolved from paternal to something indefinable, charged with unspoken tension. This year, the trip felt different from the start. We drove up from Philly in my old pickup, the cab filled with easy banter about his college classes in environmental science and my endless coaching stories. But as we set up camp by the lake, the isolation amplified everything. "Dad," Alex said that first evening, poking at the campfire with a stick, his face illuminated by flickering flames. "You ever wonder if life's just a series of missed shots?" I chuckled, but his gaze lingered, probing, as if he saw through my facade. The next morning, we hiked deep into the woods, rifles slung over shoulders, the crunch of leaves underfoot the only sound. Alex had grown into a striking young man, tall, with my late wife's kind eyes and a quiet intensity that drew people in. He'd dated a few guys in college, but nothing stuck, and I'd always wondered why, masking my jealousy with fatherly concern. As we crouched behind a fallen log, waiting for game, he whispered, "I need to tell you something. It's about why I came out here with you every year, even when I could be partying with friends." My pulse quickened. "Shoot," I replied, trying for casual, but my voice cracked. He hesitated, then said, "It's you, Dad. You're the reason. Being here, just us. It's the only time I feel truly myself." The words hung there, heavy as the mist rising from the ground. I turned to him, our faces inches apart, and for the first time, I saw not the boy I'd rescued, but a man who mirrored my own hidden desires. Society would call it wrong, taboo even, but in that moment the forest felt like the only judge. We didn't bag anything that day, but as we trudged back to camp, the air crackled with unspoken electricity. Over venison stew I'd packed, Alex opened up about his past. The rejection from his biological family, the bullying in school, how adopting him saved his life. "You gave me a home," he said, his voice thick. "But more than that, you showed me what love looks like, unconditional, fierce." I nodded, my throat tight, remembering my own youth, the crushes on teammates I'd suppressed, the marriage that was more duty than passion. That night, under a canopy of stars, we sat by the fire, sharing a blanket against the chill. "What if," Alex ventured, his hand brushing mine accidentally, or was it? "What if love doesn't follow the rules we think it should?" I froze, the question echoing my internal war. As a coach, I'd preached discipline, conformity. As a man, I'd lived a lie. The conflict tore at me. Societal norms screamed this was forbidden, a betrayal of the father-son bond. Yet, here in the wilderness, away from judging eyes, it felt achingly right. The following dawn brought rain, forcing us into the tent. Huddled together, the patter on the canvas amplified our proximity. Alex confessed his feelings had shifted years ago, during Sarah's illness, when we'd leaned on each other. "I fought it," he admitted, eyes downcast. "Told myself it was gratitude, not attraction. But it's more, it's real." My mind raced. Was this manipulation? Incestuous, even if not by blood? The media would sensationalize it. Families would shun us. But as thunder rolled, I realized my own heart had been pulling toward him, a magnetic force I denied. We talked for hours, dissecting the ethics, the risks. "Society says no," I argued, voice strained. "We're family." Alex countered. Family by choice, not blood. And love like this, it's rare, Dad. Why deny it because of labels? His logic pierced my defenses, stirring debates I'd seen online. Nature versus nurture, consent in unconventional relationships. By afternoon, the rain cleared, but the storm inside me raged on. Hiking out for another hunt, we spotted a herd. Alex aimed, steady as ever, but hesitated. Like us, he murmured. Beautiful but hunted if they stray. The metaphor hit hard, fueling my internal clash. Protect him as a father, or embrace him as a partner. That evening, as dusk fell, he leaned in, our foreheads touching in a moment of raw vulnerability. No kisses, no advances, just shared breath, a silent acknowledgement that shattered my world. The trip's turning point came on the third night. Around the fire, Alex shared stories from campus. Protests for LGBTQ rights, friends disowned like him. You taught me to fight for what's right, he said. So why not fight for us? I recoiled at first, visions of scandal flashing, losing my job, community ostracism. But his eyes, pleading yet strong, chipped away at my resolve. We debated fiercely. Is love ever wrong if mutual and adult? The argument grew heated, voices rising with the flames, exposing our deepest fears. By midnight, exhaustion won, but not before I admitted. I felt it too, for longer than I care to say. The confession lifted a weight, but invited new burdens. What about the power dynamic I'd raised him? Was this fair? Alex assured me, I'm not a kid anymore. This is my choice. His maturity shone, but doubt lingered, a societal echo warning of exploitation. The fourth day dawned clear, and we finally bagged a deer. A clean shot from Alex. As we field-dressed it together, blood on our hands, the act felt symbolic. Raw, messy, life-affirming. This is us, he said softly, taking what we need to survive. Back at camp, processing the meat, our conversations deepened. I opened up about my repressed youth, the Marine Corps' don't ask, don't tell era, how Sarah suspected but never confronted. Tears came then for lost time, for potential backlash. Alex held my hand, first overt contact, and it felt electric yet pure. No lust, just connection. But the world wouldn't see it that way. Headlines would scream incest scandal, ignoring nuances. We weighed options. Secrecy, relocation, therapy. The drama intensified as I imagined telling friends, reactions ranging from disgust to reluctant acceptance. That night, stargazing, Alex proposed, let's give it a chance. Back home, carefully. Hope flickered, but so did fear. A rustle in the bushes startled us. A fox, watching curiously. Even animals don't judge, he joked, lightening the mood. Yet, as sleep evaded me, I pondered the moral quagmire. Consent versus taboo, love versus law. On the final morning, packing up, resolution settled. Driving home, silence reigned at first, then words tumbled. I love you, I said, the admission freeing. Alex smiled. As more than a son? I nodded. The highway blurred with emotion, but reality loomed. Philadelphia's bustling streets, where our secret could unravel everything. Back in the city, the real test began. We navigated carefully. Stolen glances, late-night talks. But whispers started, colleagues noticing our closeness. A parent complained about inappropriate vibes at a game. Tension mounted, forcing choices. Deny or defend. One evening, over dinner, Alex said, we can't hide forever. I agreed, but fear gripped me. A heated argument ensued, him pushing for openness, me fearing ruin. Is our love worth the fight? He demanded. The question hung, dramatic and unresolved. Months passed, conflicts escalating. At a family gathering, distant relatives unaware. Subtle touches sparked suspicion. Aunt Mary pulled me aside. Something's off with you too. Denial burned, but truth beckoned. The climax hit at a school board meeting. Rumors peaked. I was accused of misconduct. Standing before the panel, heart pounding, I defended our bond without revealing all. Family comes in many forms, I stated. Alex, in the audience, nodded supportively. The fallout was swift. Job suspension, social media frenzy. Hashtags like adopted love trended, sparking debates on ethics, rights. Supporters emerged, LGBTQ advocates arguing for consensual adult relationships. Detractors decried it as grooming. In the chaos, our connection deepened. Hiding in a motel, we reflected. Was it worth it? Alex whispered. Yes, I thought, but at what cost? Resolution came slowly. Therapy helped unpack dynamics. We moved to California for a fresh start. I found work in conservation. Alex pursued his degree. Society's judgment faded, replaced by quiet acceptance in progressive circles. Yet, scars remained. Friends lost, family estranged. But in each other's arms, platonically profound, we found peace. Was their unconventional love a beautiful defiance of norms, or an ethical breach that society was right to condemn? The move to San Francisco was supposed to be our salvation. A city where differences blended into the fog rolling off the bay. But even there, in the heart of LGBTQ haven, our story raised eyebrows. Whispers at cafes, sidelong glances at pride events. I took a job at a nonprofit advocating for foster youth, ironic given our origins, while Alex enrolled at UC Berkeley, diving into studies with renewed vigor. Our apartment overlooked the Golden Gate, a symbol of bridges we hoped to build. Mornings started with coffee on the balcony, discussing headlines, court cases on adoption rights, debates over age gap relationships. See, Alex would say, pointing to articles. We're not alone. But doubt gnawed, was this healthy, or a product of trauma bonding? Conflicts arose subtly at first. Alex's new friends, vibrant and outspoken, questioned our dynamic. He's like your dad, one said bluntly over brunch. Alex defended fiercely. He's my everything by choice. The tension simmered, erupting later in private. They don't get it, he fumed. I nodded, but internally wrestled. Had I influenced him unduly during his vulnerable teens? A therapy session amplified the drama. Our counselor, a kind woman with rainbow pins, probed gently. Power imbalances can linger, she noted. Alex bristled. It's equal now. I admitted fears of exploitation, tears flowing. The room crackled with emotion, forcing us to confront if love could truly erase paternal roots. Social clashes escalated. At a fundraiser, a donor recognized me from Philly News. That story, disgusting, he muttered. Alex overheard, confronting him. Love isn't disgusting. Ignorance is. The scene drew stares, amplifying our isolation. That night, we argued, him accusing me of cowardice, me fearing for his future. Yet, amidst turmoil, moments of pure connection shone. Hiking in Muir Woods, hand in hand, the ancient redwoods witnessed our vows to fight together. This is us against the world, Alex whispered. The serenity contrasted societal storms, highlighting the story's core conflict, personal truth versus public perception. Work brought new trials. My boss, supportive at first, hesitated on promotions. Optics, she explained. Frustration built. I poured it into advocacy, speaking at panels on non-traditional families. Alex joined, his eloquence drawing crowds. But backlash followed. Online trolls, threats. Pervert, one email read. The hate-fueled paranoia, were we safe? A turning point came during Pride Month. We marched, banners high, but a counter-protester shouted slurs. Alex froze, flashbacks to his youth. I pulled him close, shielding him. Later, in our apartment, vulnerability peaked. Sometimes I wonder if we're deluding ourselves, he confessed. The admission stung, sparking a raw debate. Sacrifice happiness for normalcy? We decided on transparency. Alex blogged our story, anonymously at first, detailing emotions, choices. Responses flooded. Support from similar couples, vitriol from traditionalists. The post went viral, igniting forums. Consensual adults. Let them be. Versus adoption betrayal. Personal growth emerged. I explored my identity attending support groups. Stories of late bloomers resonated, easing guilt. Alex, meanwhile, faced internalized shame, therapy unveiling layers. Our bond strengthened through honesty, but external pressures mounted. Family remnants resurfaced. My brother called, furious. "You're ruining our name." The conversation devolved into shouts, ending in estrangement. Alex comforted me, but his own pain surfaced, missing biological ties. "You gave me family," he said. "But at what price?" Romantic tensions simmered without crossing lines, focusing on emotional intimacy. Evenings involved deep talks, shared dreams. But society intruded. A neighbor's judgmental note. "Think of the children." Irony aside, it hurt. The drama crested at a university event. Alex presented on environmental ethics, drawing parallels to personal ones. A Q&A turned hostile. "How can you advocate ethics with your lifestyle?" He stood tall. "Love is the ultimate ethic." Applause mixed with boos, encapsulating our divide. Post-event, exhaustion hit. "Is this sustainable?" I asked. Alex's eyes welled. "Only if we believe." The night ended in embrace, reaffirming commitment amid chaos. As summer faded, we planned a return trip to Maine, closing the circle. Packing evoked memories, heightening anticipation. "This time, no secrets," Alex said. The drive west to east mirrored our journey, conversations evolving from fear to hope. Arriving at the familiar forest, peace descended. Setting camp, we reflected on growth. "We've weathered storms," I noted. Alex smiled. "And emerged stronger." Hunting again, we bagged nothing but gained clarity. By the fire, Alex proposed formal commitment. Partners, equals. Emotions surged. I agreed, tears mingling with laughter. Yet doubts lingered. Society's voice echoed. Was this victory or delusion? The trip ended bittersweet, driving home with renewed resolve. Back in SF, life stabilized. Advocacy work flourished. We became voices for marginalized loves. But scars reminded, prejudice persists. In quiet moments, I pondered the path. Love triumphed, but at cost. Alex's hand in mine grounded me, a testament to resilience. The story's essence. Choices define us, but society challenges. Our bond, forged in fire, endured. San Francisco's vibrancy couldn't fully shield us from the undercurrents of judgment that followed our story's viral spread. Alex's blog post had transformed us into reluctant icons, celebrated in queer circles, vilified elsewhere. Mornings now included scanning comments. Affirmations like, "Your courage inspires," clashed with venomous, "You're sick." At work, my nonprofit role intensified. Leading workshops on foster care reform, I drew from experience, emphasizing acceptance. But a board member pulled me aside. "Your personal life. It's distracting donors." The implication stung, conform or suffer. I pushed back. Authenticity drives change. Tension brewed, mirroring broader societal rifts. Alex thrived at Berkeley, but campus dynamics shifted. Peers idolized him as a trailblazer. Others distanced. A group project turned awkward when a teammate quipped, "Hope your dad doesn't mind late nights." Alex laughed it off, but later confided hurt. "They reduce us to a punchline." Our evening debriefs grew charged, dissecting microaggressions. A major conflict erupted during Thanksgiving. We hosted a small gathering friends who'd stood by us. But an uninvited email from my estranged brother arrived. "Reconsider your perversion." Alex read it, face paling. "We can't let this poison us," he urged. Yet, the holiday soured, sparking debate. Cut ties permanently, or attempt reconciliation? Reconciliation efforts faltered. A video call with family devolved into accusations. "You groomed him." My defense, mutual adult consent, fell on deaf ears. Alex intervened. "This is love, not abuse." The screen went black, leaving us reeling. Tears flowed. Comfort turned to passionless solace, highlighting emotional depths. Therapy evolved, focusing on resilience. Our counselor introduced exercises, Role-reversing perspectives. Imagine society's view, she prompted. Alex as critic. Taboo destroys families. Me as advocate. Love redefines them. The drama unfolded internally, strengthening empathy. Social media amplified controversies. A podcast invited us. We accepted, sharing nuanced truths. Listeners divided, empowering versus dangerous precedent. Death threats followed, forcing security measures. Paranoia peaked. Shadows in alleys felt menacing. Amidst fear, beauty emerged. A weekend getaway to Big Sur. Crashing waves, cliffside hikes. This is freedom, Alex breathed, wind tousling hair. We discussed futures. Marriage equality's edges. Adoption for us? Dreams clashed with reality. Legal hurdles for our dynamic. Back home, a bombshell. Alex's biological mother contacted via socials. I regret disowning you, she wrote. Skepticism warred with hope. Meetings arranged, neutral cafe. She arrived, aged by remorse. I was wrong, she admitted. Alex forgave tentatively, but tensions arose. Her subtle digs at our relationship. He's your father figure, she insisted. Alex countered. He's my partner. The exchange escalated, her leaving in tears. The encounter stirred old wounds. Alex withdrew, questioning roots. Am I repeating cycles? Nights of solace followed, my reassurances anchoring him. Growth came slowly, bonds mending. Professional highs countered lows. I published an op-ed on non-blood families, garnering acclaim. Alex's thesis on ecoethics incorporated personal parallels, earning accolades. Celebrations involved quiet dinners, toasts to perseverance. Yet, a new rift, friends' weddings. Attending, envy surfaced, legal unions we couldn't mimic without scrutiny. Why not us? Alex mused. Research revealed complexities. No laws banning, but societal taboo loomed. Debates intensified. Pursue or accept shadows. Holiday season brought drama. Pride floats featured similar stories. We participated, banners reading Love Beyond Labels. Cheers drowned boos, empowering. But a confrontation with protesters. Protect children. Alex engaged. We're adults. Consent matters. Media captured it, fueling national discourse. Post-event, reflection hit. We're catalysts, I said. Alex nodded. But exhausted. Burnout threatened, we sought balance, therapy, hobbies. Pivotal moment. Alex's graduation. On stage, diploma in hand, he dedicated. To the man who believed in me. Audience applause. My heart swelled. Dinner after. Our next chapter. Optimism reigned. But shadows persisted. A lawsuit rumor. Anonymous. Alleging misconduct. Investigations cleared us. But stress mounted. Is peace possible? Alex wondered. We found it in small acts. Park walks. Shared books. Love's quiet power outshone drama. As winter set, we revisited Maine mentally. Planning another trip. To reclaim, Alex said. The narrative wove conflicts into tapestry. Societal versus personal, past versus future. Our choices, bold and contested, defined resilience. In intimacy's glow, emotional, profound, we affirmed. Worth every battle. Graduation's euphoria faded into the grind of post-college life, where Alex landed a job at an environmental NGO in the city, his passion for conservation aligning with my advocacy work. Our routines intertwined seamlessly. Morning runs along the Embarcadero, evenings debating policy over home-cooked meals. But beneath the harmony, undercurrents of external pressure persisted, testing the fabric of our bond. A fresh wave of controversy hit when a conservative talk show dissected our story, labeling it the erosion of family values. Clips went viral, drawing renewed scrutiny. Colleagues at my office whispered. Donors wavered. We need to address this, my boss urged. I drafted a statement. Personal lives don't define professional impact. But the drama escalated. Protests outside our building. Signs reading no place for perversion. Alex bore the brunt at his new role. Co-workers, initially welcoming, grew distant after the media storm. A team meeting turned tense. "Does your situation affect focus?" He responded calmly, "My commitment is unwavering." Privately, rage simmered. "They're hypocrites," he vented that night. Our argument flared, me advocating patience, him demanding confrontation. Hiding empowers them. The clash revealed deeper fissures. My caution from years of suppression versus his youthful defiance. Therapy delved in. Generational gaps amplify. Our counselor noted. Role plays ensued, swapping viewpoints. Alex as me. Protect at all costs. Me as him. Fight openly. Insights bridged divides, but healing took time. Social circles fractured further. A close friend, once supportive, distanced. "It's hard to explain to my kids." The betrayal cut deep. Alex consoled. "True allies stay." We rebuilt networks, joining LGBTQ support groups, forging bonds with similar couples. Stories shared. Age gaps, blended families. "You're not alone," one pair assured. Yet, isolation crept. Holidays alone, families absent. We created traditions. Beach picnics, stargazing. Emotion peaked during one. "This is our family," Alex declared. Tears mingled. Resolve hardened. Professional triumphs offered respite. Alex's project, Restoring Bay Wetlands, gained funding. My nonprofit expanded programs. Collaborating, we co-authored a paper on foster youth in queer homes, sparking academic debates. Praise flowed, but critics pounced. Biased propaganda. A turning point. National conference invitation. We presented jointly, detailing journeys. Q&A ignited. "Isn't this incest?" Alex fielded. "No blood. Full consent. Redefined terms." Applause thundered. Detractors stormed out. Post-panel, offers poured, book deals, interviews. Opportunity clashed with privacy desires. Weighing pros/cons, drama intensified. "Exposure helps others," Alex argued. I countered. "At our expense?" Compromise. Selective sharing. A memoir outline emerged, focusing emotions over sensationalism. Personal challenges mounted. Health scare. My routine checkup revealed high stress levels. "Slow down," doctor advised. Alex fretted, roles reversing, him nurturing me. Vulnerability deepened connection, but highlighted fragility. Societal shifts influenced. Supreme Court rulings on equality, evolving public opinion. Polls showed growing acceptance for unconventional loves. Hope flickered, but backlash persisted. Bills targeting non-traditional adoptions. A dramatic confrontation. Alex's biomom resurfaced, demanding reconciliation. Dinner arranged. Tensions exploded. "Leave him," she pleaded. Alex stood firm. "He's my choice." She left sobbing. Closure eluded. Aftermath. Alex grappled with identity. Am I defined by rejection? Nights of talks ensued, unraveling layers. My support unwavering, love's depth evident. As spring bloomed, we revisited Maine, symbolic pilgrimage. Forest paths evoked origins. Campfire confessions renewed vows. We've evolved, I noted. Alex agreed. Stronger together. Return brought clarity. We pursued the book, titling it Bonds Beyond Blood. Writing cathartic, exposing raw emotions. Publication loomed. Anxiety peaked. Previews leaked. Igniting forums. Inspirational versus immoral. Launch event chaotic. Supporters cheered. Protesters picketed. In the fray, we held firm. Post-event. Quiet celebration. We did it. Pride swelled. Yet, questions lingered. Had we changed minds or entrenched divides? Love endured, but society's verdict hung. The narrative's arc. From hidden desires to public defiance, choices forging paths amid controversy. In our haven, hands clasped, we faced futures uncertain but united. The book's release thrust us into a whirlwind of interviews and appearances, transforming our private saga into a public discourse that divided audiences across America. Morning shows grilled us on ethics, How do you justify this to skeptics? Alex responded eloquently. Love doesn't seek justification. It exists. Ratings soared, but so did hate mail. Envelopes filled with vitriol, forcing us to install security cams around our apartment. Amid the media frenzy, personal tolls mounted. Sleepless nights, debating strategy. Pull back, I suggested. Alex shook his head. Retreat means defeat. The push-pull dynamic strained us, echoing earlier conflicts, but also revealed growth, mutual respect tempering disagreements. Community responses varied wildly. LGBTQ organizations lauded us as pioneers. Conservative groups petitioned bans. A viral TED-style talk we gave amassed millions of views. Comments a battleground. Brave souls clashed with societal decay. The exposure amplified voices. Others shared stories, forming a network of unconventional loves. Yet, isolation from mainstream society deepened. Invites to family events ceased. Old friends ghosted. We countered with new alliances. Dinners with allies, workshops empowering marginalized. Emotion ran high at one. A young man approached. Your story saved me. Tears flowed. Purpose reaffirmed. Professional repercussions hit hard. My nonprofit faced funding cuts from traditional donors. Alex's NGO weathered audits. Resilience shown, we pivoted to grassroots support, thriving despite adversity. A climactic blow. Lawsuit from anonymous plaintiffs alleging promotion of harmful dynamics. Court dates loomed, lawyers dissecting our lives. Prep sessions grueling, reliving adoption, confessions. Alex wavered. Worth it? My assurance. For us, yes. Trial unfolded dramatically, witnesses testifying on consent, experts debating psychology. We took the stand, voices steady. Our bond is consensual adult, I stated. Alex added, love transcends labels. Verdict. Dismissed. No wrongdoing. Cheers in court. Relief washed over. Post-trial, reflection set in. Media dubbed it landmark for love. Debates raged on airwaves. We retreated to Big Sur for respite, waves crashing like applause. We've won battles, Alex mused. But the war. Return brought evolution. Book sales funded scholarships for foster LGBTQ youth. We established a foundation. Impact tangible. Lives changed, policies influenced. Personal harmony restored. Evenings now peaceful, reading, cooking, dreaming. Intimacy emotional, profound, sustaining through storms. Yet, scars reminded. Lost connections, enduring prejudice. Alex's bio-family attempted contact. Tentative bridges built. Forgiveness gradual. As years blurred, our story faded from headlines, becoming lore in queer history. We aged gracefully, bond unbreakable. In twilight walks, hand in hand, gratitude swelled. Choices, contested yet true, defined legacies. The narrative closed on quiet triumph. Love's defiance against odds. But one question lingers, sparking endless debate. Was their relationship a courageous embrace of authentic love, or a morally questionable crossing of familial boundaries that society should never condone?